Hello everyone and welcome back to Wilds of Eldraine um, traditional draft, and we have a mythic rare here as the first pick, and this is an actually good one. I'll quickly check this pack if there's something amazing. I don't pick anything over that mythic, but is there any quality common I'm passing? Not really. Commons, yeah, there are some decent ones, but nothing like I'm very happy to first pick. Out of the uncommons, this golden green white card is quite nice. The royal treatment is fine, and the spell's gone coven. But yeah, let's see what this does. Now it's a 3 mana, so a 4 mana 3/4 flyer. It is 2 colors, but hey, in this format it's quite easy to splash, and this is a splashable card for sure. It's a very good stat line, and then you will choose. I would say most often a 3, but you could say maybe 2. Those are the most common numbers that appear in mana values, power, and toughness. And if the opponent even, once has to cast a spell that, makes you draw a card and makes them lose um, life, it's gonna be great. But even a vanilla 3/4 flyer for 4 would be like an okay, not necessarily a first pickable card, but this is a because I have played, I think, once in limited with this card, and I think I almost always set a 3, and then it was quite often that I got to draw cards, maybe even multiples. So I will try to be blue-black, but this is also totally a card I can splash, so I don't really force it too much. Now let's see what's this pack going to offer. Someone took the rare. This is the enchantment seed card, just an uncommon. So Ice Frost Sentry. I think this is a very nice card in certain kind of decks, but it's also something that will come back quite easily. It's among the last picks quite often. So am I supposed to take a 5 mana removal here? I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that, but this is actually a fairly weak pack. And the Shatter the Oath is not bad. The Vermin is good if you know you're aggressive, but I don't know yet if I am. It's a card that, in some decks you don't necessarily even play at all. Okay, now there is another Shatter the Oath. If I took the Vermin, it could be maybe even worth, trying to get black-red going on with a Shattered Ratcher, but there is a clear best card in the pack. It's the 3 Blind Mice. This doesn't always do what you want it to do, because the opponent can, kill the token. Maybe it's the only token you have. And chapters 2 and 3 might not do anything, but sometimes you have multiple tokens. You can try to still copy them. And if opponent uses a removal on a 1/1 token, it's not big deal. And the chapter 4 will still always happen. +1/+1 and vigilance for your team for 1 turn is nice. Given that I don't really know if I'm even going to be blue-black, I'm just taking the best card in the pack. There's also Spreading Seas, nice fodder for some bargain spells, can sometimes screw the opponent's mana nicely, but I'll just take clearly the best card in here. A Tale for the Ages, that is something that can be an amazing card in the certain kind of deck. It does absolutely nothing if you don't have enchanted creatures, but of course in this set you have plenty of sources for roll tokens. Um, for all colors they can give roll tokens. I think they are like green and white are the most likely ones. But given what this pack shows me, it's mostly green and white. I could kind of force my first pick and take the stopgap or the rat out, both are totally fine. But given that I got the 3 blind mice here, it's early in the draft, I can start just picking a lot of roll makers. Because some of them are pretty mediocre cards that will come late. So I'm gonna pick this because this is a massive pump. You don't have to pump your entire team. If you have like 2 enchanted creatures when you play this, that's already going to be a significant advantage. And of course, you can have more of those. Now this pack, the best card, basically is maybe the spell's gone coven, but it also could be the root rare form. Now I have no green cards, but a deck that has a lot of enchanted creatures, which I would be wanting to achieve with this thing, is best when it's green and white. So I know I could take the Sage or maybe the Clothier 2/2, which both, gives you an enchanted creature, but I think the Fawn might just be the pick here regardless. These are the not very high picks, and I'm pretty sure I will be. I might just abandon my first pick here, given what's open, and now I see here we have a Woodland Acolyte. another glow there, but in green and white especially. I mean, I would play this in any white deck. A 3 mana 2 draws a card as an ETP is nice, but sometimes when you have the access to green mana, the Mentor Wilds in certain late game situations can be incredibly nice to make sure your next draw step will be something pretty good. So yeah, I'll take this here. And okay, another Acolyte. Well, it's an easy pick now. There's not even anything that gives a roll token, so let's ignore anything else and just take the Acolyte. Okay, there's a Curse of the Werewolf and a Red Tooth Genealogist. Now, for Insanity, sure, not interested. It's not even a mythic rare, so I don't even have to consider picking it for my collection. So yeah, this is removal, this is not. So let's take the removal one. And Royal Treatment came back. Cooped Up might be, I mean, it's removal, but given that I have this, Tale for the Ages, I'm definitely taking the Royal Treatment here. Okay, I'm going to just cut the, the black and the blue-black card. This is going to be a green-white deck once again. Sadly, none of these give me any enchanted creatures. I don't think this is, I mean, this is better in, all other color combinations than green and white. The Financier is maybe a nice sideboard card, because I don't like this on the play, but I like it on the draw, and this is a best of 3 event, which means that I can maybe sideboard it in. Yeah, I'll cut it for now. But anyway, getting the Werewolf back is really nice. I have now many ways to make enchanted creatures. I might take in some other situation the Beanstalk Worm, but now I'll of course take another Werewolf. That's a lot of auras I can put. And I even got the Spider Food for my sideboard. This thing, if I really need 2 drops, I might take it. Necropotence, okay. Well, let's see what the pack has that I would actually want to pick. First of all, this is I mean, if the pack one went in a way that I was, blue, black, but at least blue, I would just snap this and it would be great. Well, it didn't. I'm very happy about the green-white path I took here, given the cards I have here now. Nice synergy there, but okay, now I'm gonna do a red drafting. This is a mythic rare from the enchantment seed. They are the most rare cards in this set, and this basically buys me a mythic wild card because I don't have to craft it. And yes, I still do craft everything just to make sure that my collection still stays complete after I have, because I did make the craft all the cards on Arena video well, in the spring of 2023. So I mean, it was kind of pointless to make that video if I don't plan on keeping a full collection, and I will. All right, so that was a big explanation why I take these rare mythic rares. All right, Elvis Archivist, of course, amazing card in this deck, which will be allowing this to draw many cards. I wouldn't mind having the Glass Casket. This deck definitely can play the Return Triumphant. This is decent removal, especially if you have a bunch of enchanted creatures. Recruiter, a splashable, amazing card, but I'll just take the rare, which might not grow in size too much, but I mean, if it gets me some cards, it's very nice for a 2-drop. Okay, Knight of Doves. There's a Genealogist here. Now this does work with the kind of deck I'm building here. Definitely does work, but should I still focus on having, cards that give me roll tokens? Because I really want that whenever I have this, that it actually has an impact. So I think out of these 3-drop options, I just prefer to have the Genealogist here. I also need some 2-drops. I would want to be able to curve out with this deck. Alright, let's take this thing. Oh, Words of Knowledge. Oh, I have a playset of them, so I don't have to, I don't have to now redraft it. It would be only 40 gems now. Okay, Shrouded Shepherd is a 2-drop. There is another of these genealogists, but I don't want to, kind of have too much of this. I have already 3 creatures at 3 mana, and one, this saga counts as a sort of a creature. So I don't want to have too many 3-drops. I should take a 2-drop, and I like the Hopeful Vigil, but I think this pump effect here is quite decent. And you can play this on turn 2, but it is quite impactful on a later turn as well. And then there's a possibility that I will have access to black mana somehow. I just need like some of the lands that fix my mana. It's not that hard to get the black mana, at least a couple of sources in the deck for that. Okay, this pack first of all has a way to gain black mana, Collector's Vault. This might not be the Collector's Vault deck. I have already one of these phones. This is not a ramp deck either. I don't think I need it. So I'll actually just take the Werefox here. That's just infinite roll tokens available, hopefully. Okay, the Scavenger could make a food token that, actually grows the Archivist. This grows when you get artifacts. There's also a Stroke of Midnight. Another 2-drop. I still need 2-drops. Candy Trail also, makes this thing grow. But there's also Dusty Evolving Wilds here. I think I'll take the Wilds here. It's fixing mana, and maybe I want to splash the black with a basic land even, and the Evolving Wilds will do work there. But I don't think I'm enough interested in Brave the Wilds. I actually take the Candy Trail. It has, there's Cry 2 and draw a card. Allows me to dig into my better cards, and it will trigger the Archivist's growing ability. So I think I'll take the Candy Trail here. I'm not saying it's necessarily a card I'm gonna end up playing in the final deck, but it's something I can pick there. I don't think Brave the Wild will be that important here. I'll take the Scarecrow Guide. It does two things. It will trigger Archivist, and it is a source for black mana. Source of black mana for the Cleave Shadows in here. It's not that interesting of a card otherwise, but I still need 2-drops, so if I don't get anything else, I actually want to play even at just a 2 mana, 2-1. Okay, so this deck takes the Bestial Bloodline here. It is, just an actual aura, so it combines nicely with a Tale for the Ages. So let's take it. And Return Triumphant, yep. Another way to, get an aura on your creature. And this is kind of unnecessary. I have a bunch of 3-drops already, so let's take this one. And another Candy Trail. This is definitely not a Solitary Sanctuary deck. This can do some nice work. I have played some blue-white deck. It wasn't a recorded one where I had one of these and some other cards for that team, and it was actually pretty darn good. But it's not for this deck, so I can at least consider playing another Candy Trail. I'm happy to have the random 2-drop here as well. And I got the Scavenger. Okay, I got everything here. Now, okay, Intangible Virtue, that's not quite the thing I'm doing. This cares about enchanted creatures. This cares about creature tokens. So yeah, that's not good for me. What is good is the Cursed Courtier. This is effectively given the amount of ways in this deck to, grant tokens. Our aura tokens, this is effectively going to be a 3-mana, 3/3 lifelinker, which will have a better roll token easily. It will knock off the cursed roll token, so that's an easy pick here. Yep, that's that. Okay, the Princess Takes Flight. Well, there's a better card for me here. This is amazing if you have some ways to get rid of the enchantment. I actually don't. I don't know how many bargain cards I have. Might be like 0 or very few, but there's Tanglespan Lookout. This cares about auras entering the battlefield under my control. Well, this deck definitely does that, but now only after I've seen that I actually saw the Yena here. Yeah, this is actually really good too. I might take the Yena here. It's a 4-mana 4 for a good stated creature as well. I'm taking that and really hoping that Tanglespan Lookout would come back to me, which I don't actually consider that likely necessarily. Alright, well, I have some nice options here. And one of them is not the Thunderous debut. You need a ramp to make this a playable card. My deck isn't a ramp deck. Curse of the Werefox, there's a Stormkeld Vanguard though. It's a really nice way to put some artifact hate into a card that will be actually quite nice 6-drop. The 6-drop part of the card is nice as well. There's the Light Blades for more removal, but I think I'll take more power in here. There's also the Werefox, which I would actually take over the Light Blades if I wanted to have a removal. But yeah, let's take the big thing. Oh, there's another one of those. Ooh, I don't think I can avoid taking it. Yeah, my curve is rather low. I don't know about my cuts yet. There will be some cuts, of course, because this will be my 24th non-land card. But yeah, I could take these, but I think I have enough ways to make tokens, roll tokens. I mean, I'll take the Vanguard. It's a really nice card, even if you don't get to use the, you know, the adventure part of the spell. Do I have a playset of these? I don't. Okay, scrap that. I'll just take these because even though I like Graceful Takedown, it's actually better than average in this deck because I will have enchanted creatures. I really like all the cards in here. I like the mana curve. I need to make some cuts anyway, so this might be the better card than the cuts I will be making, but it's not that big of a difference. So I'll just take the Mythic Rare for collection purposes. Okay, cancel. What was I gonna do? I clicked the wrong button, I suppose. So I was trying to do this. Mana curve. Enter here. Okay. Worm. Brave the Wilds. I don't think I... Do I want to distribute any counters? No. It's gonna be a sideboard card. I think I'll take the guide. The reason that is that it can create me some life against aggressive decks if you get to connect with this. It'll be quite nice. I should probably take the 2-drop here now. This is a fine card, but I don't need any of those expensive cards. I have a Spiderfoot in my sideboard. I have 2 Candy Trails. I'll take these because I think I might still want to have a 2-drop. And I have more options for that stuff now. Okay, so don't know if I need another of these guards. I actually like the Moment of Valor quite nicely as a sideboard card. Yeah, this is already a bunch of cards I need to make. I have enough 2-drops. I'm gonna put this in my sideboard. I don't like to play it in the main deck. How about here? I still get all kinds of stuff. Should I take the Genealogist number 2 now? I do like it better than the Parents because there is a death trigger. You have more control over this thing as an ETP. I have one of these oofs. Okay, let's take the Genealogist here. Oh, I got the Lookout. So this was the pack from which I took the Yenna Red-Tooth Regent, and I still got the Lookout. The opponent has to kill this thing. This can draw me multiple cards. Okay, the cuts will be difficult, I'm sure. And I don't know how many of these Curse of the Werefoxes have I passed, but here we are. Still, I get to pick one. Well, that's what happens. Look at this. That's what happens when you find the open colors. Ridiculous last few picks. I mean, these are not the greatest cards, but they are very good picks. You know, 12 and so on. So that's what happens when you find the open colors, and you just get rewarded and get some very nice late playables, even though I won't be able to fit all of them into my deck. Okay, so this is 31 cards. Well, there are some easy cuts, I believe. Like I'm going to cut one of these Curse of the Werefoxes right away, and the Hollow Scavenger. Yes, it makes a food for the the Archivist, but even when you just have this as an 0-1 on the battlefield, it's going to be good because it will draw cards for me, and it's quite easily just going to eat removal from the opponent. Any removal will take care of this. Well, I guess the pacifism doesn't until they exile it, but most of the removal will just take care of this because it's only 1 toughness. But I'm still happy to trade this with a removal spell because this is just going to cost me 2 mana and might be able to draw a card before it gets dealt with. So I mean, so I don't think it's important to fill my deck with artifacts in order to make this grow in size. The Scavenger is otherwise not needed. I don't even need the artifact for a bargain because I don't think I have bargain cards in here. Look, there's only the Oof, and you don't necessarily even bargain it that often, especially when I have 2 of these Vanguards here, which basically do the same thing. Okay, this thing exiles, but still. So I don't care about any bargain fodder for this deck. I will cut from the main deck the Twin Veil Guide. It's quite small for a 4-drop, so yeah, it does fly, but in most matchups I think I prefer the other cards I have available. I have a bunch of 4-drops here already. And this will most likely be a 16 land deck, because yes, I have 2 6-drops, but all the others are cheaper, and even these have function at lower land count than with the instant trick. Okay, so the creature curve I should check next, and I suppose is there something I should count as a creature? I guess that 3 blind mice is a 3-drop as well, but it can be down there. So this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops, and basically nothing with 1 mana. So I would be quite unhappy to cut any of these 2s. And the fawn even has some use because it's actually, I kind of forgot because I picked this earlier. It is also a way to make the black mana for this -1/-1 effect. And I will play the guide. So that's like 2 ways to get black mana. I know I have an Evolving Wilds, but because I have nothing else black in the deck than the adventure here, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going to, put a swamp in the deck. It will make my mana worse. I don't want that. So I'm mostly green here. Well, I won't have a space for all of these cards. I just need to start cutting. I kind of like the bloodline. Yeah, I think I just have to cut the candy trails. All they do is basically dig into my good stuff, but I have a bunch of good stuff in here. And of course they do also make the archivist grow larger, but don't think it's that important. So if I cut those, that's down to 26. I will still cut 2 more cards. So I think one of the genealogists, I have to cut one of the 3s just for mana curve reasons. Yes, it does make a roll token, but let's see that as the next part. What roll token? How many cards mention it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 10. Okay, well this is kind of a bad roll token, but then again, imagine if you have the tail for the ages down. This is actually, even with the cursed roll token, it will be a 3/3 lifelinker, so it's not the worst. And it also, when you play this, if you have the Tangle's Pan Lookout on the battlefield, you will draw a card from this cursed roll token, even if it's like a detrimental one. It's an aura, nevertheless, entering under my control. Okay, so that's a lot of roll tokens. It's basically what I mean by that is that I was able to cut the 3rd genealogist quite easily. And now the question is mostly that, do I want to cut, the good stuff? Note that the created token that's a copy of a target token you control also works with the roll tokens. Something important. You don't have to find token creatures. That's also nice. So I'm not going to cut the mice, but I'm actually thinking about cutting one of the vanguards, because this deck doesn't really seem to necessarily need a 6-drop. And unless I know that the opponent has good targets for the adventure here, it might be a little bit overkill to play 2 of these. I'm actually just happy with the stuff I have going on here. Yeah, now by the way, if you want to read what it does, you can pause the video. It does nice things. Especially if you get to synergize with something like the Tangle Span Lookout. I'm very happy this came back to me. So basically from one pack, in the pack 3 I got both the Yena and the Tangle Span Lookout, and these increase the power level of this deck by a significant amount. Yeah, this is the deck. Evolving Wilds, and I believe it's gonna be it's not gonna be an 8/8 basic lands, it will be 7 white and 9 forests, also because one of the mana fixers here is this, which requires green. The guide fixes both mana, but this is still I have these I suppose 3. Well, no, there's only like 2 creatures on turn 2. I know if the only play available it is the Tail for the Ages, I would play it on turn 2. This is not usually gonna be played on turn 2, so for the only 3 plays on turn 2 I basically have that are white. I have still 8 ways to get the planes, 7 planes and 1 Evolving Wilds. Although I just said I'm gonna play 16 lands, so this is actually too much. Well, in that case, I think it's gonna be cut the forest after all. I don't really want to go below 7 planes, and after all, the Scarecrow guide will fix my green mana. It's a of course, a vulnerable creature, and if the opponent knows sees that I'm missing a color, this is a high target for the removal. But regardless, maybe they don't always have removal. They want to be casting. Yeah, that is the main deck. Sideboard options mostly are, I could consider sideboarding this in on the draw, but I don't really know what I want to cut. Maybe if the opponent has like effects that deal 1 damage, the Scarecrow Guide goes away. I might find room for it. This, of course, against anything that has no multiple creatures with high enough power. This against the aggressive decks to maybe try to get some life back. I have a defensive 2-drop if I really need to do that. More removal if they are must removal target. Spider food could be good against many flyers. This second copy of this. I would say there are plenty of sideboard options. We will see if I'm gonna utilize them or not. But this is the deck. Okay, a very decent hand here with the fawn. I have a 3 mana available and even black for the shepherd, assuming the fawn survives, of course. I will get a land, but remember they could play Island Spreading Seas, so don't crack Evolving Wilds when you are on the draw against a deck that you don't. Oh, they have no second land. Okay, that's and they kept 7, I believe. Yeah. Okay then. They also play 51 cards, so that might be telling something. I'm just gonna play the fawn to maybe double spell something. I mean, they need to drop a land right now. This could be game over. Okay, well, an unexciting game 1. Unless they have some amazing start here. I mean, after they find their second land, maybe on the next turn. But it seems very unlikely. I'll just do this, of course, because I will be playing, I start drawing cards with the genealogist now. Tapio, they even had a target for my, for the Shrouded Shepherd here. Well, it costs 2 mana to give it death touch, so it's not really a high priority. Who is going to get the... I think this is so valuable. And this might be tapping for mana. It might be better just to play this off. And then give it the card. I mean, I guess I don't have... Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. They are not gonna jump block. So this is gonna have another Royal Roll token. I guess giving the Tangle Span Lookout that Royal Roll token would be... Because it does, give ward to the creature. But to be completely honest, I don't think I can lose this game given how the opponent is stuck on mana and what I have here. The mass removal options cost... Like, I think there's a 5 mana mass removal in the entire format. Is there anything that deals with all these? I don't even think so. There's the white rat effect. Okay, well, they don't actually... they don't die to the -1/-1 anymore, but it doesn't really matter because what is gonna happen is this. Yeah, this is... I mean, my deck is now doing its thing, but of course it's quite easy to do its thing against an opponent who, basically is unable to play a game of Magic. So this is now, I think, I will win on the next turn. Because I can give a trample to a thing that I have enough damage and I can give trample to the one they jump block. So okay, what did I see? I see for example a 6th what? That's like a 60 card deck. Alright, well they are dead now. So I don't really have any reason to choose any sideboarding. They shouldn't have kept a 1-lander when they are, at 7. I understand taking the risk when you have already mulliganed to 6 and especially 5. Then you are more willing to risk it. But it's just you just lose the game if you don't immediately draw the land almost. A majority of the time at least, so it's not worth taking the risk. Just go to 6 instead. Alright, well, I use the same deck. It's not like I learned much, and it's of course harder to sideboard against 60 card decks because you are more unlikely to see the cards you saw in the earlier games. Alright, so for example here, there's no reason for me to keep this. This is a much better hand. I don't need double planes that much. Okay, again, I do have the black mana with the Scarecrow Guide. If they play something that is going to So I'm gonna wait one more turn. I of course have to play this if it's like the only play. Oh, they are playing 5 colors because I saw white and black in the previous one. Alright, Season of Growth. Oh, sure, let's just do some damage. I really like the +2/+2 here. It makes it a very nice 2-drop. You don't have to rely on the adventure to make this card good. Yuhan, right. So whenever I target... No, it's only... this is the one that when they target their own creatures with spells, not abilities, but spells, they get to draw cards. And whenever any creature, even a token, enters the battlefield under their control, they will be, of course, scrying 1. Okay, well, there's no attack, there's no beating them with this Curse of the Werewolves. I mean, there's like a complicated... No, they're easy though. But what I'm gonna do is just play the Yena, and then on the next turn I can use Curse of the Werewolves. Hopefully they do tap out. Now they can actually play instants and sorceries, including adventures, from the top of their deck. Alright, so this is target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name. Okay, that's a lot of text. It's actually a simple effect, but it takes a lot of text to explain it. Now, of course, if they were tapped out, I would just immediately use the Curse of the Werewolves here, but it's a really risky move to do right now. The thing is that I'm not exactly sure what is the best play there. I can start copying some things here. It will untap. Takes two. It's actually kinda annoying because it might be that they don't have interaction. They might have white and black cards in their deck. I'm gonna do... I mean, they don't have a priority there. I'm going to actually do like this. This might seem a little crazy, but I'm gonna do this. They're gonna block the 2/2 most likely, and then... Oh, they are not blocking anything. Wow. They take 6. I mean, I don't have to do anything now. Because I was just going to put the, the monster token on the Shepherd, and then, deal 4 damage there. And if they have some interaction, at least the Yena it will stay alive. Because this is such a valuable card. I get, auras on all of my creatures, thanks to Yena. Also, I get some nice scries here, so I don't want to risk it. But the fact they took all that damage is really weird. Now I can end of turn maybe play the Werewolves. I know I could have played as a 4/3, but 4/3 isn't that great against these 2/5. Yeah, the stat line here is making things a little difficult. Oh, they might actually make it now into a 3/6. Oh, it's... And they would still have 3 mana left. The leg 10 uses 1 mana for that thing. Okay, there's Cry on top. Oh, they freeze that thing and... Alright, sure. That's nothing like... That is really nothing. Now I think I can... Well, let's see what they do with the rest of their turn. So there's Cry on top, and then there's against Cry of course top. They kind of wasted one of the Scries here. But I understand they don't want this thing to untap and do its thing. So if they're gonna make this into a 3/6, I have to actually sacrifice one of these guys, because I won't be able to. Yeah, because I can make this into a 5/5, of course, with the Werewolves, but remember when I play the Curse of the Werewolves, what's happening? They are attacking. That's wild. They are raising me. Anyway, of course, if I play the Curse of the Werewolves, it won't become a 6/6 because it will knock off the previous token. It will be only a 5/5, and fighting a 3/6 with a 5/5 doesn't make much sense, but... Okay, I guess they wanted to scry for some reason, but of course I'm not blocking, and this is gonna be a lot of damage. I'll make this into a 3/3, thank you very much. There's no point really at using the Curse of the Werewolves. You don't have to fight, by the way. Fights up to 1, so if you just want to give that token, it's totally a legit thing to do, but of course... I didn't even have mana to both play this and the Werewolves, so not really a question there. They're not gonna attack now, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, basically I have a lethal attack here if they have nothing. So I assume they have something. I will lose my Werefox. They will block the Werefox, they will kill the Shepherd. Okay. Hey, I had to think, but they had 5 cards in their hand. I know they had also white and black in their deck, but they still had 5 cards in their hand, 6 open mana with 3 different colors. I can't just slam here, so... But I would have done... I mean, given my hand, there's not much else to do. So my plan was to attack with everything, with the assumption that they will eat the Werefox with the 3/6, and then use some kind of instant trickery to deal with the Shepherd, or at least with the guide, so that they don't die. But then the good news in that plan is that they hopefully used their only trick they had available. And then this of course has taken to 4 damage at that point, and then post-combat I can curse off the Werefox with this Regent finish of the Yuhan, which is basically holding back everything. That was the plan, but they just realized that they have no castables and I have an all-out attack. Still, they should have actually seen if I do the attack with everything or not, but I would have. And that was once again a proof of what you can see in traditional drafts. You don't see the 60 card decks in premier drafts when you have, let's say, platinum and higher ranks. And again, I don't enjoy those games, but that's why it sometimes is quite easy to maybe have a good match win rates in traditional drafts. I'm gonna mulligan this, of course, it's just a 100. Because sometimes you get those sort of free-ish wins. Alright, so this is a good hand and would be a lot better if I had a 2-drop. Now, I mean, this hand is also risky if the opponent starts quickly, has interaction, then this is actually a bad hand, but well, obviously it's a keep. Question is which card not to have here. I'm not going to risk and ditch a land, because if I don't draw a land for these 3-drops, it's game over. I don't think I need 2 Werefoxes. I'd rather have the 2 3-drops in here. I am on the play at least, so let's see if they don't counter or kill this thing and I get to resolve this genealogist. That would be quite nice. Alright, and a good 4-drop here. Alright, so no... Okay, another player with a Season of Growth, but at least this is a 40 card deck. Now, look out. Don't have the -3/-3, or there could be also the destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less. Oh, they have their own lookout. Now I want to have my monster. What's the Curse of the Werefox, I mean. That would be nice. Would they block if I attack? I don't think so. Well, I mean, this is a very good draw because it will protect my whatever thing they try to remove, and I also get to draw a card. I suppose we both are drawing cards in here. Oh, that's I guess it deals with the Season of Growth. I'm not sure that that's so valuable, but that's what it does. If it could be so that there's some better target for it. I would have to, of course, sacrifice one of my tokens, but it might not be that much of a big deal. Oh, now they're Season. Okay, they're going all in with this. Now they just want to target some of their own creatures and they keep drawing a lot of cards. Now that said, these things haven't drawn them any cards yet. Now they have gotten Scries. It's worth something. But it's not worth full card, of course. So obviously once they draw one card out of them, it's just like an even Steven. But at some point they might be drawing multiple cards and they could overwhelm me. So I need to win quickly. Now the Bloodline isn't a bad draw at all. I kind of want them to go for some kind of double block though. And then I could punish with the Werefox. I don't know if that is what I want to do. I also do want to keep mana up for the royal treatment. So if I draw a land here, I might... I mean, are they gonna double... No, they're not gonna double block. Not a 2-3. It would be too risky. So I'm just gonna actually do this. Get a card. And then, well, first just do this. I think they just take 7 here, unless they jump block, which would be, I mean, that's... They might have a, yeah, some trigger there, well, oh no, they just do that. Alright, alright. Now, I kind of want to keep up mana for the royal treatment, or maybe this adventure too. But if I play the phone, that gives me more options to, you know, do stuff on the later chance. But I think it's too valuable now. They might have different ways to remove my stuff, and I don't want that. Okay, now look at this. Well, first of all, they do draw some cards. I don't think... Okay, whatever. I'll just do this. I mean, there's no choice in there. They will just draw cards. They actually draw 3 cards in here now. But, like I said, these have now drawn 1 card. If I can just find my own removal spell, which I have like, what, 2 of in here, so that's not a lot. So now I can do a tricky thing. I can actually attack with both, and if they block the 3/4, I get to kill the lookout, because I can exile their token. This won't work because this will knock off the previous one, but I can use this oof to make this back into a 2/3. So I'm just considering if there's anything I want to do pre-combat, and there is not. I will just attack here. They will have to take 8 damage though, so they might want to do this block here. That's fantastic for me. So now what I will be doing, be careful not to eat my royal token, because then this guy will die. So I won't be doing that. What I will be doing though is playing the oath. That leaves me with that kind of mana, which is fine. I will bargain it. I will bargain this royal token on this guy. Here. Yes, come on. Choose it. Yeah, okay, I don't know what happened there. And then I will be exiling this, so this is no longer getting the +1/+1 and has 3 damage and 3 toughness. Let's take the tapper here. That's now basically they need like a mass removal effect, which they could have if they drop a plains here. Okay, let's see. There is a 5 mana mass removal effect in the format, but they did not have that. Not yet. So they're gonna get an extra card from the Season of Growths now. Both of them have drawn 1 card. It seems like they have a Werefox. Okay, that's now draw 2. That's exactly what's gonna happen if the game goes late. I don't think the game is going to go that late though. Okay, now they're tapped out, so I even have full information if I can win. Because I have a trample token and I can tap one of the blockers, so whatever they're gonna block is gonna trample over. So these are gonna... Basically they block the 4/5, they take 5, go to 4. Okay, that's actually 1 short, because I can trample. I mean, this will be a 5/5 trampler, it will deal 3, so they will go just to 1 here. Huh. I do think I still tap the Minstrosity here. It doesn't have Ward 1, because I don't want to give them the food either, and I want to attack so that they don't trade with the lookout in here. So let's just tap it on my own turn. Force them to at least jump block. And of course I still can use this Werefox, because I will... Oh, they will go for the trade. It doesn't actually matter in terms of the... They will just take 8 now, but I can save this guy and also draw the card. So let's do that. Yeah, at 1 now, and I don't think I have a land drop left, so I couldn't play the phone. Now, situation is very good for me, obviously. They have an Ashik. I don't think Ashik is actually good enough here. It's of course a very good card. So they are like, is this a 3-color deck? Because I see a white 1-drop here, and I see a black card, black 2-drop, and of course the green stuff. Or is it like a... Yeah, I think it's a 3-color deck. Okay, 3 blind mice is good, but now if they have 3 blockers, so this should be... I mean, this win for me if they don't have something. Well, I guess I'll try tapping this and see what happens. It could be a royal treatment, that's what I'm kind of afraid of. There's nothing else I can do before attack, so let's do this. They might still have a kill spell, you know, the white thing. At least they have to jump block with both of these tokens. Alright. Because they could, you know, have the bargain, kill an attacker, kill the 4/5. Well, actually, they would have to kill the trampler. It's funny here though. Yeah, they would have to kill the oof because this thing has trample. So they would kill the oof and then jump block both of these guys. And yeah, well, they could make another bunch of. Yeah, this could have been. They could have turned the game around if they had the 2 mana interaction there. Yeah, but okay, so there are 3 colors. Alright, so they have these, you know, these Season of Growth. I don't want to see them, so I do want to play the Vanguard. How about the Spider Food? Artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying? Well, that's a little bit different because I didn't see flyers from there. And I don't care about using a card to deal with one of the monster or any roll token. And Season of Growth is not actually good enough to sideboard this thing in, so I won't be doing that. Curse of the Werefox. Now, I do want to get rid of this Tanglespan Lookout if I just can, so I'm interested in that too. A Moment of Valor. Ashiok. I don't think the Moment of Valor is good against them. I don't think I have room for this because even though I will be on the draw, most likely, I have done some sideboarding. I kind of want to have the Curse of the Werefox too. What is the worst cards in here? I mean, there's nothing that's bad. All of these are good. So that's the problem here. I just have to consider that maybe like the 2-1 is not gonna be good enough against their stuff. And do I want to have one more of these Werefoxes, one fewer of these genealogists? Actually, I'm gonna do that. Cut that and put this in the deck. I want to have the removal. And I won't have a space for this. This is fine. Okay, now I have a 2-drop here. And if they have a turn 3 Tanglespan Lookout, I will be able to kill it with the Curse. Curse of the Werefox. Alright, I wonder how many of these Season of Growths they have. Yes, perfect. Perfect. And maybe this even is the Curse of the Werefox that I sideboarded in, otherwise it would just be my own 2-3. Now it would be a pretty nasty engine to fight. You know, if they have both of these up, they would just draw so many cards, so the fact I had this start in here against that start is making me feel a lot better about my chances. Now this thing has a monster roll token. This gives a monster roll token, so the trick value is... Oh, they get to draw it again. But at least I get to kill the Season of Growth. But they're also missing the white mana, by the way. But that's what happens when you play 3 colors. I'm going to just play the 4-drop here as a creature, because they're most likely going to play this again. Maybe they can't play anything else and they take 7 damage here if they don't have a land drop or other spell. That seems to be the case. Oh, that's gonna be nice with this Werefox thing. Anyway, if they have something that targets their own thing, there's no point doing this. I mean, I just should do this right now. Destroy that thing. At least they won't be drawing any card if they have there is a black 1-mana trick. You know, that can target their guy. Now, of course, I will be playing this cast counter here, and I can give it this trample token on the next turn. They are again in trouble, but I mean, when they played this Mentor Wilds, they actually had 3 mana left over, but because none of their mana was... Okay, they get to kill my Lifelinker. None of their mana was able to produce white. They couldn't play it. This would be a different game if they were able to do that, but then again, this is a 3rd color for them. Alright, Troublemaker off. Well, I mean, I can just force... Yeah, so let me see. I have to, of course, eat something I have to do this. And actually, I sadly can't do it because this... I would need now the double green here. A shame. Because now if I do attack in here with this 3/3, I will lose the token and there's nothing to bargain. And I would lose the creature as well when they eat it. So that's not an option right now. Well, I mean, I have the option to just attack with this guy, so let's do that. And I'm going to actually make it deal an extra point of damage, and then I'm of course going to tap a creature on their turn. I'll get my... There's no spreading seas there, so I'll get my forest, so I don't have to worry about that, forgetting that. So now of course I will be able to tap one of their guys, and then I also have the Vanguard now, mana for that thing. That's gonna... The 2/2 is too small to make a difference yet. I mean, they can jump block, but both of these actually even trample now. So I can just tap the lookout in here. Okay, they get to draw a card, but that barely matters. They have so few mana left that, yeah, I think game is gonna be over. Yeah, I can let you attack on the tap here, unless they have a... No, they don't. And that's of course a lethal attack with 8 power of trample. Yep, I didn't even need the stuff I still had left here. Okay, hey, I didn't need my rares, did I? In the game 1 even. I think I just had good synergy here, and that's what good synergy does. Okay, on the play, oh, I get to test my Tale of the Ages. Now, that said, I have no creatures in here. I have a fairly high number of creatures. This will bring something back if it dies. It's not a great hand, but I want to try if I get to see this in action now. I'm on the play. I can play this on turn 2. It's not like I have to use 2 mana for it at some point anyway, so I might as well do it on turn 2. And then, okay, I'm against some aggression here, which could be bad if I don't draw my creatures, but I do. Sadly, it's the one that needs more creatures. Because it can't give the token to itself. So let's see now. How quick is the start from the opponent? Well, at least they don't affect the board now. They can play the 4/3 on the next turn though. Okay, well, that is just an easy genealogist, of course, because if it dies, I can play the Return Triumphant, and then yeah, it still won't be able to kill it, give it, you know. No, it will have the Young Hero roll token. Oh, they have a Decadent Dragon. That is nasty. Maybe they will block with it, you know. Because this Werefox is actually +3/+3 now. They don't know it, and it's not something they are expecting, but I don't expect them to block it. But I must do whatever I can, right? Yeah. I guess I could have just played... No, let's give them the opportunity to block with the dragon. It's very unlikely. Now, do I want to give it +3/+3? Because what I could have done is start with the Bestial Bloodline. Make it already a 5/5, you know. I guess I kind of missed 2 damage with this. It would have been a 6/7 there. I don't want to waste this token though, so let's do this. It's a 5/3 Trampler now. And sadly I don't have another... Well, I do have a play. I mean, it's... Mono red can't kill this. Hopefully they don't have the threaten effect though, but I mean... I won't be able to play this on the next turn if I plan to play the Curse of the Werefox. You know what? Let's do this, and now I basically missed 2 damage by hoping that they would block with the dragon. Because if I did this pre-combat, they would be at 13 now. So let's hope they don't have like a way to kill it. So Ginger, okay, this thing has haste only if I have a Planeswalker, right? Non-token. When another artifact you control is put into graveyard. So that actually, oh man, it's a really nice combination with the dragon, because treasures are gonna go to graveyard. Can't say I'm a fan of this development here, but hey, what can I do? I can only try my best here. They had a pretty darn good start. Even the ginger brute, which they can sack for food, is going to sack for life. I mean, is gonna grow this guy. And it's not like I have too much time here either. These things trample. Now, if I can find any roll token on the ferocious werewolf and it survives, it will be a 7 power trampler. That would be 14 trample damage. And they don't have a lot of toughness after they attack with a dragon. Okay, so they're gonna give that thing the unblockability. So am I gonna die this turn? They wouldn't do that unless I'm gonna die this time. Or maybe they can kill it. Yeah, they can do that. So yeah, now they have a 2-turn clock here. Yeah, the dragon was quite nasty. There's nothing I can bring back with the Return Triumphant. Grasp of... okay. Well, that's it. Well, I saw the Grasp of Fate, that gives me sideboard ups. Also the third Ginger, I mean, I can just play the second. I'm actually playing the Spider Food too, because it kills both the third Ginger and the dragon here, so... But yeah, they are red-white. I didn't know until I saw this. Okay, well that was a nice turn. They had a... In one single turn they played the deal 5 damage to something and then remove anything. But of course it's because this can be so cheap. Yep, no chance for me there. So I have those 2 hate cards. How about... what else do I want to have? What else do I not need? How about the Scarecrow guide? I want to have actually the guide. I maybe even want to have a swamp in this deck. I don't know if it's good, because I mean these 1 toughness creatures are something I could try to kill with the -1/-1. But then again, the legendary one picks up counters quite fast, so I don't think that's really what's gonna happen here. Alright. I don't really like cutting anything here. Everything is just so good, but I just have to cut something. Maybe it is the guide. Okay, it's gonna be the guide. I don't like cutting in early drops against the red-white deck, but I mean, all the rest of the stuff is so important. And I'm not gonna cut the acolytes. The draw and card part is so nice. I will play all the rest of the early drops here. So I have to cut like one of these ferocious werewolves. I believe I put an expensive card in, so I should cut an expensive card. So that's the sideboarding. I don't think I really can have space for the 3rd curse here. I'll just do it like this and hope I get to hit my... Well, I just cut a 2-drop, but I still hope, I'm allowed to hope that I hit my 2-drop here, because of course red-white is the most aggressive deck in the format. Perhaps red-black, maybe they share the 3 ability. Well, in here is just a must keep regardless of not having the 2-drop, because this is both colors and decent set of things in here. In a very long game I might even do stuff like return the 3 blind mice to the top of my deck with the woodland acolyte, but this is not the kind of matchup. I don't know yet about my turn 3 play, which of these it is. I mean, I might draw some other options, of course, but... Now I know I have the turn 4 play, probably the Yena here. Now the thing is, if they do kill one of the for 1 mouse token, then the rest of the card doesn't do anything. So I'll just yeah, if they have other artifacts that go to graveyard, this starts growing. I might actually just draw a card quickly to get my good stuff going on. You know, for example, I have 3 hate cards that work against the Surginger. The 2 6-drops, and then of course there's just removal as well, but the 2 6-drops and then the Oath. And I can of course use something for the bargaining. Okay, so they did mulligan to 6 by the way, but they have no attack that they're willing to make. This copies any enchantments, so I can actually have 3 blind mice, assuming this survives. And given that they are, stuck at some amount of mana, it's quite likely that they don't get to kill this. Now the real question is, am I going to attack with the Acolyte? Because let's say they find a kill on this, I will take 3 damage. I am in a position to raise. Of course, if they have nothing, they can't even attack into the Yenna. But I guess I'm in a very good shape if they don't have anything. So I'm not going to attack. I will leave this as a blocker, play Yenna. And because I don't really like this race. At some point they will find their next land and then they can, you know, put all kinds of stuff on the battlefield. So, okay, that is just alright. Well, now it's pretty easy, of course. Oh, and I got the oath for that thing. So, choose target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. Well, yeah, I can play the 3 blind mice and yeah, this is actually quite sick. Not going to lie about that. So I'm supposed to attack now? Yeah, maybe. No, I don't think so. Two damage is not enough. So let's do this and go off. You can't copy it more than once because it says that you must not have any other with the same name, but it's still pretty good. This is a sorcery activation, so I can't do any tricks with these final chapter triggers on the stack either, because I will have to wait for the stack to empty. Alright, royal treatment is really nice. So now this target... Oh, wait a minute. A token that's a copy of a target. You know, this one is a token. Well, you know, that sounds funny. Let's do more of these. Is this making any sense? Okay. I didn't even realize I can really go off with these things. So I will have 4 of these sagas right now after these triggers resolve. And I can just actually keep going. I can actually keep going. This is infinite. This is infinite. Wow, I didn't realize that when I was drafting the deck. Alright, so now let's I can't copy anything with this because unless I play the Werewolf aura here. I want to leave mana up for the forest, so well, might as well do this. For mana up for the forest. Well, I want to leave forest up for the royal treatment. So now I will choose some other creature that's gonna have the monster roll token. You know, this mouse can have it. I get to scry too. I don't need these things. Yeah, this is insane. I mean, the opponent actually should concede probably, but I mean, I'm happy if they let this go. I'm going to attack with the Acolyte. I don't think there's any reason to leave it. Yeah. I mean, these just keep going. I mean, they just always copy the copy. Yes, if you want to make some true jank in constructed. Not competitive, I'm sure, but you can... Once you get the copy 1 3 blind mice via some other effect, you can use the chapters 2 and 3 to keep copying the copies, and they will enter with one, you know, lore token, so law counter, I mean, and then of course this just blows, and you get, you know, free these +1/+1 effects and all that. So yeah, that was a fun game too. I mean, you know, not for the opponent because they did miss out their land drops, but to at least witness this thing happening was worth it. I mean, it was worth even if I lose the match now, I'm still going to be happy about this final match. Okay, I said that against aggressive decks I should maybe sideboard this thing in. So yeah, I think I'll do that. But I will need to find another card. Maybe like the genealogist here. Is that it? I really don't want to cut all the stuff here, but maybe I'll just have to. Fine. I have a lower amount of roll token givers now. That is fact. So maybe the guide isn't so important. Maybe I just need to be able to hold off their onslaught. Should I play this now? Oh, I think the genealogist is... I need to have a certain amount of roll token making to actually make my deck function, so... Fine. Now, let's have a 2-drop, please. I'm on the draw, so that could be very tough situation if I don't have one. Oh, I have the ideal 3-drop if I had a 2-drop. But to be fair, I have only 5 2-drop now after the sideboarding, so I'm keeping this. The Acolyte is gonna be fine regardless. And maybe they have a Sir Ginger on turn 2 there, because that would allow me to just kill it outright. Please have it. It's a 2-mana 3/1. Please have it. That would give me a play for turn 2. No. And I'm not going to, destroy this treasure token, because they're just going to sacrifice it. And then I won't have the 6-mana option left. No 2-drop. But now, I guess they didn't have either. I can return, by the way, an Evolving Wilds with the Acolyte, but it's not. That's just a sorcery. That's not really what I need here, given the amount of land in my hand. Ash, Party Crasher. Well, I have a Curse of the Werefox, if I just can... And they had to actually burn their treasure for that. Alright, so this gets double strike. Well, first of all, this picks a counter, I don't like that at all. I mean, what can I do? Let's draw a card. So this picks up... This gets double strike if... they have a 4-power creature. Well, there's the Sir Ginger. Can they trigger this annoying... No, they don't trigger the Ash here right now. And I get to kill the Ginger kind of for free. Problem is... I don't have the perfect mana for what I want to do. Because I am... Yeah, they have just too much here going on. I'm not dead yet. But problem is, if I use this 2-mana spell, it's the only thing I can do. That said, the 3-mana spells I have available don't do much. I mean, the Courtier is great, but what I'm gonna do with that is... Okay, actually on the next turn I can play a 3+2. I can play a 3+2, so I believe my next turn play is going to be the Courtier and then the bargaining with the Oath. So that I get to play these. This will be a 3/3 guy, and this will die. Now I can bargain even without. Now the question is, am I going to play this? I'm actually just doing, after all, these. They can't. Oh, come on. Why didn't it? There was some black there, but I'm happy I had one of those timeouts there. Because I can play this 2/2 now to block the Picnic Ruiner. Unless they have a way to make this double striker, in which case I would have the option to jump block it. But the problem is, I need this. I can't play the Courtier and the Genealogist on the next turn. This is the only way currently allowing me to have this as a 3/3 lifelinker. So I guess the best case scenario is that they play a target for this thing. But I guess I hope they just play the Giant here, and I take 5. Okay, they don't get to trigger the celebration there. Okay, Spider Food. Well, at least if they get their dragon, I got that dealt with. But yeah, this is now, because you can actually bargain with this thing even if you don't have the the ability to remove something. But I will bargain it, of course, just to make this into a 3/3. It doesn't have to be a target for the ability, and it's a target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. So even if I control something that I don't want to exile, I couldn't even target them. Okay. All right. Well, this is gonna be a double striker, so I will get life here, but this is gonna pick up the counter, and that's really annoying. Especially, oh, they have the. All right. Well, I was hoping they don't have this, but they do. So I can block the double strike. I will take, enough damage anyway. Well, that's what this deck does. The aggressive red deck. And when you have a cards like a Witchstalker Frenzy, yeah, you can do some nice things. Yeah, I was in trouble after they played the Ash Party Crasher, and they got now this second counter on it as well. So I mean, I would have died even if this was just a 3-3. But yeah, assuming I would have survived somehow, I was still facing quite a nasty board here, even if I didn't die this turn. All right, well, that was it. At least I got to do the thing in the game 2 of the final match. Sadly, yeah, I had only this Tale for the Ages in one game, and it was the game where I played this on turn. It was the game match 3, game 1, which just was total. I mean, I got I don't know how to say it now, but you know, there was no chance for me basically, given how the opponent curved out. So imagine any of those games, which you know were pretty easy, maybe the other ones, but still, I mean, I often had at least 2 creatures with counters on them, with auras on them, I mean. So giving them +2/+2 just like that is just amazing. Especially if you combine it with the Ferocious Werewolf, which, you know, basically you have the trick that this represents +3/+3 and Trample. So I would have wanted to see this in action more, but getting the copy this was fun for sure. Alright, well, the deck had synergy, yes. Of course, lack of removal, or when your removal is like a little bit unreliable one, such as the Curse of the Werewolf. I would say for those reasons, and my 2-drops went, by the way, amazing. Oh, never drew this one. Yeah, this would have drawn cards all the time. Well, I suppose I did draw the Tanglespan Lookout at least a couple of times. But yeah, this is also a card I didn't see at all. But yeah, my 2-drops weren't the greatest. I could have wanted to just actually have better 2-drops. Maybe, I mean, maybe if the Woodland Acolytes would just be some good 2-drops, I would have been happier. Because what was seen in the last match is that missing out on a 2-drop against an aggressive deck, that is horrible, and that's why I always want to have 2. So maybe sideboarding this out was a mistake. Maybe it was supposed to be one of the Acolytes instead. It's possible, but maybe that's something to remember in future. This is a nice one, but it's not really something you can't sideboard out. You definitely can. Alright, 2-1, but interesting deck. And well, the first match was not very cool, but it was very quickly over as well. And at least I think the second and third matches were somehow worth watching, hopefully. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Let's just claim the prize in here. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.